Hi, welcome back. I'm Andrea and this is Andrea Fontana Beauty. Today we are, where did I put the palette? I have been wanting to film a look with this specific palette for months. It's been on my videos to film and then other things come up. So we're finally gonna do it today because this is a palette that I use all the time on bridesmaids who prefer a very cool undertone when it comes to their eyeshadow. I'd say the majority of bridal makeup I do is a little warmer, a little peachier, because I end up with a lot of blue-eyed clients. I mean, not that this wouldn't look fabulous on a blue eye, but it just tends to be more of a warmer palette usually. Not like crazy orange warm, but just more warm or neutral. But this is a very taupey, cool palette. And I know a lot of people love those kinds of shades. I obviously prefer warm, so I do a lot of those types of looks on my channel, and I wanted to do something taupe and cool tone today. So this is the Taupe's palette by none other than Juvia's Place. I mean, are you really that surprised? It's beautiful. It would look really awesome if you added some purple into it, but it's not purple. It's more gray, mauve-y, well, not mauve, taupey. It's taupe, hence the name. We're gonna do a look with it, and so we're just gonna go from there. Sound good? All right, so we're gonna start with my brows, and we're just gonna do a quick soap brow. So as usual, I'm taking my Pears transparent soap and spraying a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. I don't know where my spoolie went that I normally use, so I'm just dipping into the spoolie that's on the back of my brow pencil. These guys are getting pretty long. So we're just brushing through, and then I kind of go and tame. That guy's just gonna stand straight up. Good. Now I'm gonna go in with the other side of this pencil. This is, I mean, the same NYX micro brow pencil I've been using for a while. And I just like to fill in some of these areas that are not as full. I need to tint my brows. They are due. There you go. So you just have a nice filled in, fluffy, soft brow. Not trying to make them look fake, just trying to make them look naturally fluffy. Okay? Just like that. And then at the end, I always like to go back in with the spoolie just to make sure that everything looks nice. Okay, we're gonna take our Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Eyeshadow Primer and apply that from lash line to brow bone and just blend it in. Let that dry down for a second just so that it can get a little tacky. We're gonna work on these eyes. I'm gonna start, let's see, what do I wanna do today? I think I kind of wanna do a halo eye. Do I? No, I'm gonna do the most traditional look that I typically do on a bridesmaid with this palette because it's a stunning look. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start with this lighter shade up here, and I'm going to put this through the crease like that and then into the outer corner. And I'm just using a soft, it's a fluffy smudger brush so that I can really get that product in there and then blend it out. So our first, this color kind of just sets the groundwork for, kind of helps me map out where the look is gonna go, the shape I'm creating. So we're just kind of applying it. Just like that, okay? Not meant to be super dark. This is the lightest shade. We're just kind of starting things off. Now we're gonna go in with this slightly deeper tone, and we're going to pack that on the outside like that, but then also bring it through the crease. And again, just buff out the edges. Thirdly, we're going to go in with this deepest, it's more gray tone, and really put that on the outer corner, just the outer corner. And again, buff out. Okay, so now that we have a deepened outer corner, I'm going to spray a flat eyeshadow brush with some Fix Plus. And we're gonna dip into, can you guess which two? These have been so used, these two. I like combining the two. They're honestly pretty similar. They're just a little bit different of textures. And we're gonna apply that on the like inner 2/3. Man, I never do this cool tone of looks on myself, so this feels so weird. But I do love it, okay? So now we've got that on there. We're going to first, we're gonna go back in with that smudgy and just kind of like blend out the edges, blend out where our dark and our lid color meet, just like that. Then we're gonna go in with that fluffier brush and blend out our edges to make sure everything is nice and soft. I kind of want to go back in now with the deepest tone and put a little bit more just in that outer corner. And then I'm actually going to use my finger like that to add a little more color payoff through the front, just like that. And then again, always buff out through the crease and make sure that your edges are good. Now I actually am going to tap into this Pixie and Promise palette just so that I can get a powder, a light shade that matches kind of like my skin tone, and I'm just going to tap that in and highlight my brow bone with that, just because we didn't put on like a base shadow, so I kind of want that on there just to kind of keep things smooth. So this is a super neutral, natural look. This is not supposed to be a big pop of color or anything. But if you like taupes and you like these really, really neutral shades, more on the cool tone side, I think you'd really love this palette. I often do it on a lot of moms who we want to like brighten and add a little dimension to the eyes, but they don't wear a lot of makeup, or they're just really nervous for eyeshadow because they have texture on their lids. If they're just not big shadow wearers, then this is also a palette that I love to go to because it is very neutral, and when you look at my face right now, it doesn't contrast that much with the colors that are naturally found in my complexion, besides this guy, but we're gonna get rid of him in a second. Okay, so we're done with that for now. What we're gonna do to move forward, we're gonna move on to the face. So we're gonna go in with our e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm going to apply, I like to kind of dab it on all over the face. I've talked about this before. Definitely make sure that I get over this little guy so that we can cover him well, smooth out the texture of the blemish, but also help the foundation and concealer adhere. And I'm kind of doing like these pressing motions with what we call our Essie fingers in the esthetician's world, because they are your two like I mean, obviously besides your pinky, which is basically useless when it comes to putting products on. I mean, except for under your eyes sometimes. But these two fingers, you have control, but they're not too strong. So they're good for using on the face. So it's just a habit for me. Now, we're going to use a foundation that I actually haven't used in a long time. And that's what I used to use all the time. And that's the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation. I think you can only buy this online at Ulta. I haven't looked to see, I haven't seen it in stores anywhere. You can't like go into a normal like L'Oreal bay and find it. So, sorry, but it's a really good dupe for, drugstore dupe for the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. So I do highly recommend it. I'm just applying it with a brush. Okay, so we've got a nice thin layer of that on. Sometimes I mix it with Goshen, today I'm not. Just kind of depends on the day. And I'm using the shade Cream Beige 25. If I haven't already said, everything will always be linked down below. We're gonna go in with our NARS Creamy Concealer in Nougatine. And we're going to use the same foundation brush to just tap that in. No swiping motions when it comes to concealer. We only tap. Look, he gone. Not welcome here today. We're gonna go with our Pixie Promise palette, and I'm gonna use the lightest shade. And again, pressing motions always, anywhere you have texture. Guys, I think I'm gonna buy one of these palettes for my kit because I freaking love these powders. They're amazing. And I think the value is phenomenal for the price. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I just convinced myself. I'm running out of some of my favorite contour powders that they don't make anymore. So, I think we need it in our lives. Okay, we're set. We're actually going to use said contour powders, and I'm gonna go in with mixing this warmer and this grayer one with my angled Moda blush brush. My affiliate link to Moda, which will get you 10% off, is always in the description box of every single video in case you're ever looking for new makeup brushes. They're the only makeup brushes that I buy anymore. If you see any that are not Moda in my kit, it's because I got them before I fell in love with Moda, and I'm still using them. But like when it comes to purchasing brushes, Moda is all I buy. They are the best value for the quality that you will find. Okay. We are bronzing it up. Looking good. Okay, that's looking great. We're going to use Hot Mama, which has been one of my favorite. I'm actually gonna film, I think next week, a makeup look completely centered around this, because this is my go-to quick 5-minute routine makeup product. I use it for everything. So, gonna use it in a video soon. Just a nice peachy blush. Love. And then what should we highlight with? I think we're gonna go back into our, because this is a pretty cool toned pink highlighter. We're gonna go back into our Pixie Promise palette and we're gonna highlight just to bring some of the coolness back in, because that peach blush is kind of warm. I like to do a mixture of both warm and cool on the face to kind of like balance things out. Usually, I mean, sometimes I go hard and go completely warm with everything, but it's nice to balance things. Okay, so now we got the highlight, which is looking fab. You know, I always like to go back in with my powder brush and kind of blend out any edges. Okay, we're gonna finish up the eye. I'm gonna go back in with our Taupes palette, and I'm gonna take that fluffy smudge brush, and I'm gonna go in with the deepest, this guy. And starting on the outside here, I'm just gonna connect the outer like 2/3 with the top. So I just went like that, and just connect it in the corner there with your lid shadow. Just to kind of smoke this out a bit and give us a more balanced look. Super pretty. I'm also going to take my ring finger in that same highlight shade, the tiniest little bit, and I'm just gonna pop that in my inner corner so that we have a nice little highlight that's cool toned to go with that taupiness. Perfect. All right. I'm going to add my mascara and then come back and we'll do lips. Okay, we're back. I've got my mascara on. I'll link the one that I used below. And we're gonna actually use this little sample of a Tarte Color Splash lipstick. I'm not sure if they still make these. This is the shade Rum Punch, but I mean, it's just a basic nude. Feels like nothing. Kind of an amazing color. Oh, I love it with this. Okay, this might be my new, this might be my next always in my purse nude. It's a little mini, which are perfect for purses, but that's the finished look. It's a pretty natural look. It's nothing that's too intense. So if you're new to makeup, I think this is, or just don't love super punchy colors when it comes to neutrals, because not all neutrals are natural, if that makes sense. Some can be way more, have a lot more pigment and just be like way more contrast. But I think this palette is really good for those who like natural makeup. So I, of course, will link it below, and I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of the content that I put out in the future. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.